It's episode 45 of the Hodgepodge podcast. I'm your host, Doug.
And I'm Dirty A. As the name suggests, we're going to talk about a hodgepodge of topics from movies, music, TV, and other pop culture events.
And on this episode, we welcome special guest Matt King to discuss Guardians of the Galaxy. You can reach us at the Hodgepodge Podcast at gmail.com or over on our website, thehodgepodgepodcast.com, or head over to YouTube and iTunes and subscribe. And as we just mentioned in the intro 5 seconds ago, our good friend, author Matt King, is here to discuss Guardians of the Galaxy, which is the most serious you'll hear that movie be. Yeah. Welcome, Matt.
Hey, fuckers.
Have your shit stand.
Yeah, all right. You're probably a bastard.
So, we just got the report in. We're recording this on the 3rd of August. And we just got the report in that Guardians of the Galaxy basically shit money this...
What?
Yeah. It was a diarrhea of cash.
I didn't see that coming.
And, actually, I was surprised it made that much, because I went...
Really?
I saw it... We saw it Thursday night in IMAX 3D.
Yeah.
The 3D was decent. It wasn't... I didn't...
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But then I saw it again Friday night at like a 9:15 show or something like that, and it wasn't sold out. I was surprised. I
saw it Saturday afternoon again, and it was more or less sold out.
Okay, yeah. I believe that's understandable.
And it's a rainy day and shit.
Yeah, it was a shitty day.
Yeah, I saw those numbers and I was like, ooh, 94
96 million.
96
here
million
in America alone, and then it made 100.
Wait a second, that beats Cap 2, right?
I don't know if it beats Cap 2.
I don't remember the numbers.
I don't remember, but it definitely beat the winner for August, which was the Bourne Ultimatum, which was 7 goddamn years ago. So,
and it was projected to only make what, like 60 million?
65.
Yeah.
They were. I think
some
Marvel
real
was
good buzz. Got some real good buzz.
Yeah. I mean, it got great reviews. Yeah. It's a good movie. It's really good.
It's a little more than good.
Oh, yeah. Me and Matt
right.
are going to have to gang up you a little bit on you here, I think. But yeah.
Well, I said to Matt earlier after we saw it that I figured the podcast today would be a reversal of the X-Men Days of Future Past episode where Dirty A and I
said
loved
like
it,
4 words
loved
the
it,
entire
and
episode.
And then Matt thought it was really good. He thought it was pretty good.
Which makes sense. Hugh Jackman is not shirtless in this. So,
that's true.
I mean,
that's true.
And now in this one, Dirty A and Matt obviously is.
And Chris Pratt was shirtless in this one. So you and I.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
We got our fix.
Pretty real.
But you were a little disappointed because he wasn't as doughy as he used to be. So.
This is true.
Where's his beer belly? So Dirty A and Matt are over the moon over this movie. I liked it a lot. I did like it a lot. I definitely thought it had minor problems that just didn't. For me, if I was ranking the Marvel movies that were released by Marvel Studios, I still put Cap 2 as number 1. Cap 2 was just phenomenal. Avengers number 2. Iron Man number 3, because Iron Man's a tough one to beat. And then I put this 4. I put this right under Iron Man.
Okay, so we're not that far off.
No, we're not.
All right, so I had Avengers at number 1, and then Cap 2, and then I had this one third, just behind Cap 2.
Right.
And then Iron Man.
Yeah, so we're not far off.
Yeah, I would say...
Dirty A likes Thor 2 the best.
Yeah, that's number 1.
Well, there's Thor 1, and then there's Thor 2.
Yeah.
Then there's empty slots, and there's empty slots.
Ready for some more Thor. Right.
There's a placeholder for Thor 3.
There's a placeholder, right.
Right around the top.
Yeah, based on just, technical movie-wise, Cap 2 blows them all away. I mean, it is just, it's got the story, it's got the characters. So I might rank this one. I think I liked it a little more than Avengers. So.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the sci-fi aspect, so you throw that in there, and I'm sold. And the way James Gunn was able to portray the galaxy was fucking amazing. It looked beautiful.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I was actually a little worried about this movie starting... Well, actually, I guess at Thor 2.
I was a little worried about Thor 2, too. I was right.
Yeah, well, you fucker. All right, so...
the stinger at the end.
Yeah, the stinger at the end, because it looked like, somebody filmed it in their garage. Yeah, it looked
like
a Dr. Who
thing. What he's referring to is the collector.
The first time we see the collector, and
I think he had more screen time in the stinger than he did in the movie.
Yeah, which okay, so we don't get the
Probably true.
the double masturbation thing for like another. What was this move?
Middle
I don't
out.
get it.
Middle out.
Okay.
The best is that Rocket repeated it. That was the best.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like this.
But yeah. I agree that this kind of the collector scene obviously bled into this movie, and
Right.
even the feel of it, which was like you kind of mentioned Doctor Who-y a little bit.
Yeah.
I still got that feel in this movie, but in a grander scope, and that's why I like it.
Right.
I dig on that. But all the characters in this movie worked.
Oh yeah, the heroes, the Guardians themselves, I love them. I mean, I can't.
Right.
For me, this movie was a lot like the way I felt after I saw the first Captain America movie. I liked it a lot, but I was more excited about what was going to come next.
Yeah.
Like for Captain America, I was like, I cannot wait for Captain America 2 because I can't wait to see him.
You
do-
have to. This
do that
is
again.
even more different than say throwing Captain America on the screen for the first time, because
Right.
people still know who Captain America
Oh yeah,
is.
yeah, for sure.
This is for 99% of the audience. This is absolute brand new
Yeah.
characters, every single one of them.
Right.
And you got 5 heroes, so it's a lot.
And one of them is a raccoon, and one of them is a tree.
And one of them is a tree.
Yeah.
So it is a lot to feel here. There was
Yeah.
Marvel definitely took a leap in putting this on the screen,
Yeah.
but they really did well, and I think they hired the right director to do it.
Yeah.
See, I think people have been so starved for a good like space sci-fi
Yeah.
movie for a long time. I know I have, and
Nice little space opera.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is kind of a crazy one to throw out there to sort of,
Yeah.
test the water.
Well, Disney was hoping that John Carter was going to be.
piece of shit.
I didn't.
Hey, it was.
Yeah.
Well, they were right.
They were
They
right. They got it right.
I like John Carter. I didn't.
It-
I think it was. I think it got a bad rap.
It wasn't a terrible movie. It was marketed way wrong.
Yeah, they. marketed it
I'm
way
not saying it was a great movie, but
They stuffed it too much full of like, hey, there's gonna be a sequel after this. Wait, no, there's not.
I know. I mean, we talked about this before.
Yeah.
This is whatever genius at Disney who was so gung ho about doing this. For whatever reason, they just assumed everyone was going to know who the fuck John Carter was.
Well, no, that's not what it was. Because Andrew Stanton, who directed it, and I think he wrote the screenplay or had a hand in the screenplay, he wanted to call it John Carter from Mars, and then Disney was like, oh no, we don't want to do that. That's going to turn off girls and blah blah blah. I mean, like their stupid marketing machine came in and fucked it all up.
Well, I mean, just I'm not even talking about the title, but just the way it was marketed. It was just they made this assumption that everyone knew who John Carter was. It's like this summer, you get to see John Carter, and everyone's like, who the fuck is John Carter?
John Carter,
Yeah,
my
people
favorite.
should have. The way they really should have sold it was, if you know Star Wars, there's no Star Wars without John Carter. Basically,
Yeah.
that's really how they should have sold it. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, so
When was that story written? 50s?
Oh, God.
Oh,
40s?
it's the 19th. I think it predated the 50s.
Oh, God, yeah,
We're talking
this
like
was
the
like-
20s, 30s.
I think even
Before that. Oh yeah, this is
because
real,
he's
real
a
old stuff.
he's a Civil War
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah, this was long time ago.
Because it was Burroughs, Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Mhm.
So he was doing whenever he wrote Tarzan and all that stuff. He wrote this too.
Yeah.
They're old as shit. So so Guardians of the Galaxy is basically the story of Peter Quill, who is also known as Star-Lord.
To
Who?
himself.
Come on, man, Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Finally.
Guys,
That was the best.
That was awesome.
I loved
So
it.
good.
All right.
and we'll get to that in a
So
minute.
good.
All right.
So anyway, it's about this kid who gets abducted when he's 8? I guess 8 years old.
Mhm.
Gets abducted into space after his mother passes away, and then the bulk of the movie is set 26 years later, and he's basically he's a thief,
Scavenger thief.
He is a thief and space Lothario.
Yes.
And he's played by Chris Pratt of Parks and Recreation. This is he's been doing a lot of work lately, like a lot of side parts. He was in Moneyball. He was in
Her.
Zero Dark 30. He was in Her. He's been in a lot of stuff lately.
It's going to be in Jurassic World.
Well, see, but that's different. That's
then he
after
jumped
this,
into
so it's-
Lego movie.
He was the
He
star
did
of
the
Lego
voice,
movie, but
yeah.
that was just a voice part. So this is like his first real foray into like leading man role. And
Yeah.
then as
He
Matt
knocked it
just-
out of the park.
Yeah, and as Matt just said, he will be the lead in Jurassic World, which comes out next year.
Yep.
Yeah, he did. He was great. He was really, really.
He was
good in
perfect.
this.
He
was
shined
great.
on the screen. He just
They're so good at casting
Yeah.
at Marvel, I swear to God.
Yeah.
And he was the perfect guy for that role. I mean, he had the comedy timing was perfect.
charisma.
Yeah.
Check.
Yep. He looks the part. It was great.
And then, so what happens is that he is after this orb, which he doesn't know what it is, and he also, so that brings him into conflict with the main villain, Ronan the Accuser, who's played by Lee Pace. For some reason, I thought Lee Pace was British. I don't know why, but he's like from Oklahoma.
Yeah, no.
I didn't know I thought he was British for some reason. Maybe it's because of the when he was in The Hobbit or whatever. So
Probably.
But anyway, so Ronan the Accuser.
And he's also doing like TV now.
Yeah,
he's on Halt and Catch Fire.
Yeah, Halt and Catch Fire, which is a great show.
Yeah, great show.
So Lee Pace is Ronan the Accuser, and he works for Thanos, who and by the way, spoilers.
Yeah. Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, I mean, how can we really? You can't really talk about.
Yeah, you can't really talk about this movie without spoilers. So spoilers if you haven't seen it yet, but apparently everybody has, according to the box office receipts.
And that being said, that's not even that big a reveal.
Yeah, that's not a big reveal. The Avengers was a big reveal. Than that. So, but yeah, Thanos makes a
spoiler. Thanos is not a giant cloud.
Yeah.
You're thinking of Galactus.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or you could have been thinking of Parallax.
No, that's true.
Or you could combine the two and just be a dookie cloud in the form of Thanos, just sort of drifting through space.
Yeah, so Thanos makes an appearance in this movie, and he actually has some lines.
He does.
Yeah. I wish that they had actually filmed that scene with all the actors there together, because it's very clear that they just filmed Josh Brolin somewhere and then added him to the scene.
Well, did you want him floating above
I mean,
everybody else?
No.
Does it matter? Because it's all a green screen.
No,
anyway.
because
I know I was pissed when I got there. I was like, "What the fuck, man? That guy is not right.
No, because
he is not in space right now."
Because of the way they did the scene, and that was one of the issues I had with the movie. Not just that scene, but a lot of the expository dialogue that didn't have to be expository dialogue. They could have done a little bit more.
You think the Thanos stuff was expository?
Just like when the fact that he's like, my favorite daughter, Gamora. I'm like, really? It's like, that's kind of...
See, I thought that was a dig at
it's a dig, but I think
Nebula, who was right there.
If he was there on the set with them, they could have done more interaction to make it, just a little bit more compelling. I felt that's all.
I just take that this being badass dude who's just calling it as he sees it, right? He's just...
I love that bathed in blood. Like, I will bathe the stars in your bloodline, and then he just sits back and grins. Like,
just,
I will.
I mean, he's just sitting there on his big fucking throne.
I know.
I thought it was badass.
That flies.
So.
No, that's fine.
No.
Like, you don't have a chair that flies.
And you, at least in 3D, you didn't think he looked that great, right?
Yeah, in the 3D, I don't know if it was like we were sitting too close or something like that, but when I saw it again in 2D, I was like, okay, he looks a lot better. I think he just felt a little jarring because you saw all these other actors in actual makeup, and then he is so clearly a CGI face and stuff, like the Hulk. So it just felt a little weird.
That's how I felt about it. With the Hulk, and I didn't feel it jarring at all. I thought, even in the 3D, I thought it looked fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So that brings Peter Quill into conflict with these dudes. And he's also in conflict with the guy who abducted him and basically raised him, Yondu, who is played by Michael Rooker.
Right.
And he plays Yondu as Michael Rooker in the makeup.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
So we now know there are space rednecks.
And again, cast perfectly.
Yeah.
It's great.
So what happens is then he gets a bounty put on him, and then he runs into these bounty hunters, Rocket and Groot, who are respectively a talking raccoon and a talking tree. And
he's not a raccoon, man.
No.
What is this raccoon thing that you speak of?
And
he is stupid.
If I sound dismissive, I don't mean to be, because they are the two best characters in the entire movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And spoiler, in Avengers 2, 100% Rocket comes in contact with the raccoon.
You mean 3?
In 3, 100%. He's going to come in contact with the raccoon on Earth.
For sure.
That's a given.
And then also Gamora, who is an assassin, played by Zoe Saldana. She is sent to go...
Daughter of Thanos.
Well...
yeah.
She
adopted
daughter. Stolen daughter of Thanos.
She is sent to go retrieve the orb, but she has her own plans. And basically what happens is Gamora, Quill, Rocket, and Groot all get captured. They get thrown into prison, and then there they meet Drax the Destroyer, played by Dave Bautista, who does a great job here.
Yeah.
I was actually really surprised.
Yeah,
I just assumed that would kind of be a throwaway
No, he was
of the Guardians.
That's the
just
one.
Just given that he's a freaking
He's a
WWE
pro
wrestler.
Yeah, that's the one piece of casting where I was like, I don't know about this.
Where he worked,
because there was talk of what's his face, Momoa, getting the Drax job, and then
instead he's getting another one.
Yeah.
Woo,
boy.
Talk about that later.
Yeah.
So, and then they all come together and they say, "Hey, let's go stop the orb." Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So originally they all have their different motivations for achieving the same goal, and then by the end they're kind of one unit.
As they leave the prison, they're all holding hands. There's a rainbow behind them. Says, "Let's be friends."
Yeah.
They just run out of this prison. But there's a lot of great cameo appearances in this. Benicio del Toro is back from the Thor 2 singer as the Collector. I kind of wish he was in it more. I thought he was gonna be a bigger.
Well, he signed like a 38 picture deal.
Oh, he did. I didn't watch that.
I tend to agree with you because he was great on screen, but the way the story unfolded, there was just no need. There wasn't a need for it. He was fine.
I think he served his purpose. He's going to come back. He'll be
right. It's not like he's not like he's.
So he's got what, 2 of the Infinity Stones now?
Did he have the other one?
Yeah, because he's got the Ether. Oh no, he didn't get this one at the end.
No,
so he's just got the one.
He's just got the one right now.
So he almost had.
And then the other one is in Loki's staff, right? That's one of the gems. Isn't it?
See, all right. So here's the deal.
Is it the Tesseract or is
the
it
Tesseract is the gem? But
because I watched Avengers again yesterday, and like the staff, the gem is in. There's a gem.
There is a gem in the staff, but then Fury at one point even says the staff is powered by the cube.
Okay.
Or or it acts like it's powered by the cube, or something like that. Or maybe it was Cap that said it. I don't know. Somebody did. But I don't know. Maybe that is a separate gem.
I don't know.
Because it kind of seems almost like the mind gem a little bit, and then the Tesseract would be space.
I guess.
The space.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the
because
Infinity
Gunn said today, I think that the one that was the orb that was in this movie, the stone
Time.
was no, it was the power gem.
Oh, the power gem. Okay.
Yeah. So this is the power gem. The ether is probably, I don't know, reality. The reality gem?
Sure.
Yeah, because it's gonna like turn off the lights of the universe or something like that. Which what a shitty fucking stone.
That's the worst stone ever.
Gonna go back to darkness.
Just gonna remember to turn off the lights. That's the power of this stone. And then
it's the environmental gem,
the space gem, and then maybe the mind gem. So what do we got? 2 left.
6.
Yeah, there's 6 gems.
There's 6 total. Yeah.
There's also John C. Reilly's in it as what's his name? Roman Day. Is that his?
I guess he's Roman Day. I thought they just kept calling him Day.
Day. Well, I think is Roman his name or is his rank? I forget.
I don't know. Anyway. It was actually listed in the credits as Corman.
Corman Day.
Yeah.
Corman Day.
Glenn Close is in it as Nova Prime. The Novas are basically the Green Lanterns of of
her
universe.
world.
Except like
she's
100 times more interesting than the actual Green Lanterns.
Yeah, right. Is it the universe? I thought it was just her world.
No, Nova I think is a universal.
Is it a universal thing?
I thought they were like a galactic space.
That's what I thought they were too.
Okay.
That's their home world.
That was their
that's kind of like their
base.
Oa. That's kind of like their Oa,
All right,
except they don't have a big green battery.
Yeah. So it looks like they're setting up them to take the place of the Skrulls with the whole Kree war thing.
Oh, okay.
Because they kept talking about how they've been fighting for thousands of years,
right.
and the peace treaty is what Ronan's all pissy about in the beginning. Anyway.
Right.
So it looks like maybe they don't have it. They might not have the Skrulls, and Fox might, or they have that dual ownership thing going on.
Yeah.
I know they can't use Super Skrull,
Right.
because Fox has that for fantastic fuck ups.
Right.
But I thought that they sort of had dual ownership of the Skrulls, kind of like they have dual ownership of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. So, but it looks like maybe they're going to just say, fuck the Skrulls, and we're going to put the Xandarians in there.
Maybe. Skrulls are probably more interesting, though, I think, because of the shape-shifting element.
I would think so, but I think they would have mentioned... And if there was ever going to be a mention of them in a movie, it would have been this one. Because they set up like 100 different fucking cosmic stories in this movie.
Yeah.
So I think if they had the Skrulls, we would have seen them by now.
Yeah. And everyone thought that Chitauri were going to be part of it, sort of, as far as the Skrulls go, but I guess not.
Yeah.
And then also, the other 2 villains in it are, Matt mentioned Nebula. She's played by Karen Gillan.
Woohoo!
And
Doctor Who.
Yes.
And what's his name? Korvath.
Who?
Korath. Korath is played by Jaimin Hansu.
Right.
Of the villains, not counting Thanos because Thanos is barely in it. Of the 3 main villains, I liked Korath the best. And the reason why I liked him the best is because he actually had a history with Star-Lord that the audience has seen. So when you got to that scene, when he goes, Star-Lord, he goes, finally. I'm like, that's a cool scene. Because you've seen the evolution of their relationship.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but I wouldn't consider him a main villain.
No.
He was.
Well, I mean, he's one of the three.
He was just helping
dudes,
Ronan. I
right.
mean, he was just
the main villain.
He's a henchman.
But the main villain. I mean, but he's one of the three main
right.
baddies that you see on the screen. Karen Gillan. I thought there was some cool stuff with her as far as Nebula, but I didn't like her interpretation of it. She was almost too hammy for me, too over the top.
It was a little weak. It was probably the weakest performance on the screen amongst the main players. But it didn't detract for me as much as it did for you. I didn't think it was overly hammy like you did. But I definitely know where you're coming from.
I thought she was kind of like really cartoony, like her performance kind of devolved towards
over cartoony in this movie.
Of just screaming just at everyone, and I'm just like.
Well, she had it like the scene where we referred to earlier, where she's with Thanos and Ronan on
Broken Asteroid,
whatever that Salvation, or what is it called?
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, Sanctuary.
Okay.
Sanctuary. She does this kind of catwalk thing where she walks off, and it's just like way overplayed. It's this way overplayed walk off, and So I understand what you're saying. It just didn't detract from me as much. Originally, my biggest problem with the film is that when I saw it the first time, I didn't think they really explained Ronan's motivation. But when I saw it the second time, I realized, I was just distracted by so much other shit. They actually did explain it fairly well. Yeah. I just wasn't paying attention to that in that. And
they actually went back to it multiple times.
They did. They explained it really well.
Because he's a religious zealot, is sort of broken off from the Kree, and is.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked this movie. We've seen so many movies this summer that have been really, really long, and this one's just 2 hours. I would have liked to have seen them add about 10 minutes, just to flesh the characters out a little bit more, the villains at least, because I feel that the heroes are all and that's kind of like, and this is what I said to you after I saw it the first time. As I said, for me, the Guardians are great, and I can't wait to see their next movie. But the rest of the movie, to me, felt like a more traditional Marvel franchise launcher. It had the villains that were okay villains, and then the plot was okay, but it was mainly about establishing these heroes and then getting them ready for what's next.
Yeah, I mean, it's an origin story, but it doesn't feel like the standard origin story to me. I mean, this felt like one of the great space movies. I almost hate to compare it to Star Wars, but it was kind of Star Wars-ish. I'm going to anyway. So, all right, I'm sitting here surrounded by Star Wars paraphernalia for anyone who doesn't know.
You've come to the wrong dojo if you want to bring that mess.
Don't let me turn on my lightsabers.
I'll fight both of you. All right, I got the higher ground. It's over.
That's not Star Wars.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That never happened. It never happened.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but to me, it was kind of like that. It was that sort of great beginning to a wider universe.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree. I'm definitely on your side here. You're right. It is an origin story, but I didn't feel it was a quote unquote, like you said, standard launcher.
No, I don't think so.
I thought it was well beyond a standard launch movie. When they were on screen, immediately when they were on screen, with them then giving a couple lines, I felt like I knew them already, and I felt like I was engulfed in that universe. And I mean, my favorite scene in the movie is still, even after seeing it the second time, was the not the opening scene, but the title sequence scene.
Oh, the title sequence! Oh my god, that's my favorite. One of my favorite parts.
It was my favorite scene in the movie.
It's perfect. It sets it up perfectly.
You're introduced to Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, as an adult, and he's on this planet, and he's just he's dancing around to some music. It is brilliant.
Come and Get Your Love is what that song is.
Redbone. I don't. Okay. I just wasn't gonna get that deep. Do you
want to start singing
it?
We can do a duet.
Yeah, absolutely we can. So, but anyway, the title sequence is him entering this planet to go get the orb, and he's dancing around to a song, "Come and Get Your Love," on his headphones. And it is brilliant.
He's singing into
some
little alien.
He grabs
animal.
a little alien rodent and starts singing it, using it as a microphone. It was brilliant. It established what this movie was going to be, which it was going to be light and fun, yet serious as was.
Well, see, here's what I also liked it, but one of the reasons I liked it is because it was a great opener. Because this movie has two strengths going for it. One, I think it was emotional in a couple parts.
Right.
Which that opening, the pre-title sequence with his mom, was crushingly sad. I mean, that was just really hard to watch. But then you get the scene you're talking about with the title credits scene.
It's a complete swing.
It is, and it shows you what you're in for with that movie. You're going to swing from one side to the other, and in a good way. I think it's just a really well-rounded movie, and it didn't feel like, to me, the sort of standard origin story for a superhero, which is generally kind of weak, I think. And the stories are never all that well thought out. A lot of times, it's mostly just about how we show them getting the powers, and
well, that's a little bit different for this anyway, because
they're not really superheroes.
Because they're not superheroes, but it's more about the formation of the team.
Yes.
So it's
which to me is more interesting than how you get your powers.
Yeah, and you tack on that with how gorgeous it all looks, and
like
how,
Zoe Saldana.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Those tight leather pants.
Right.
You're with me. You know what
Who doesn't love green chicks? You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Yeah. But I mean, just the way the galaxy is set up, especially Nowhere, which is a quote unquote planet, if you will.
Right.
But it's all so wonderful and so well done. The only reason I like Cap 2 better than this is because the package is a little tighter, and it's really more. The script is a little tighter.
Yeah, for me, Captain America 2, like I said.
But I'll say this. Let me say this. In Cap 2, you were talking about they give some exposition in this way that's a little unnecessary. I felt the same about Cap 2 when they go into when they go down. I don't remember where it was anymore. They're Cap and.
Arnim Zola?
Yeah. When he's in the computer, he basically gives 5 minutes of exposition.
Yeah.
I mean, just flat out
lays
it out there.
All right. Yeah, that was exposition.
I mean, that was heavy exposition.
It was heavy. To me, it worked. It worked.
I mean, to me, that worked better than some of the ways they did it in Guardians of the Galaxy. It worked a little bit better
because they worked it into the story. He was stalling.
Yeah, he was stalling, and then also it's a history.
You know why they said he was stalling? So they could give the exposition.
Right, but see, when you have to give the exposition, you do it in such a way that it works within the story. It doesn't feel quite as.
My point being, to that though, is that I didn't feel like you did, Doug, that the exposition was just thrown out at me at this. I was still engaged in the story, no matter what was, whoever was on screen saying.
I mean, I understand there's got to be exposition, dialogue.
Of course.
I'm writing a sci-fi thing. Matt's writing a sci-fi thing. It's all about, you have to work it in somehow, and I know that. It's just in parts in this movie, it just came across a little clunky to me. I was like, but it's a minor quibble.
Right.
For me, as far as the Guardians go, I would say Zoe Saldana. I liked her, but I felt she was the weakest of the crew. Yeah.
Oh, as the Guardian, the 5 Guardians.
As far as her performance went. Yeah.
Not as the whole cast, but just.
Oh no, yeah, just the team. Just the team. I felt that she was kind of the weakest of
I think maybe I agree with you. I don't know that I've really thought about it to rank them, but I think a lot of that is because her character is so serious. Like she basically doesn't have any humor in this movie. Although
she had the line about the melody.
Although
this is a pleasing melody.
When she does, she yells it. Yeah. When she does, some of that maybe feels a little forced. So
some of her line readings just came across a little bit. They just was like,
but
she's good overall.
Yeah, absolutely. She likes Kevin Bacon. That's all I need to know.
Yes.
Well, I guess they didn't have a good reason for her to talk the way she did. Right. Like Drax, they explain. He's a very literal. Everybody on their planet is literal. He doesn't understand metaphors, so he speaks like he does.
I like the second word.
Yeah. It will not go over my head.
Do not call me a princess.
It will not go over my head. My reflexes will allow me to catch it.
I will catch it.
I would have liked, and I don't want to spoil this too much. Well, I guess we can't.
I think we're past that.
But I would have liked them to maybe tease her motivations a little bit more. I think so. Maybe you weren't sure. She was going to turn on them
because right at the beginning, she immediately gives away.
She's immediately like, "No, I'm a good guy. It's great." And I'm just like, "Yeah, come on."
Yeah.
They could have teased that out a little bit more. I think. I was very happy to find out though. I watched an interview with Gunn, and he was like, "There are 10 to 15 minutes of deleted scenes that he's going to put on the Blu-ray." Yeah. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. I think if they had added a few more minutes, it could have been well spent to making you wonder about her a little bit at the beginning. Like, Iffy, instead of her just immediately turning to them and goes, "No, see, I'm on your side."
And I totally trust you.
Yeah. But man, these the whole cast is just so good here.
But we kind of glossed it over. Now we have to talk about it in depth. Rocket and Groot.
Yeah.
They steal the fucking show.
Yes, they do.
Personally, for me, I loved Rocket. I thought Bradley Cooper. I was kind of nervous, not because he's Bradley Cooper, but because I kept on hearing all these stories like, well, we had to really get his voice right. We had to do this and do this. I was like, this sounds like this is kind of going off the rails a little bit. But he did a great job. He was fantastic.
I had to even listen to realize that was Bradley Cooper. I was like, oh, wait a second. He did well.
But for me, I loved Groot. I loved
fantastic.
Groot. Because I like characters that have like
only say 3 words.
Have that like gentle soul to them, and and he really was like that. Like the part when like he smashes all those guys and he turns to me, he smiles, goes, and they're like,
that is so good, so good.
So Groot was amazing, and loved Rocket. Rocket was great, and he had, Bradley Cooper. You've got this CGI. It was kind of like in Planet. What we talked about, Planet of the Apes. You had the CGI raccoon. And he has like one of the most emotional scenes in the whole thing. He starts describing what happened to him and all this kind of stuff. It was really good. You really feel for him.
Yeah.
And I would love for them to just fuck the rest of do a Rocket and Groot.
I actually like Quill's character the best, but that's followed very closely by Groot and Rocket.
Yeah,
but
I love that.
After seeing it the second time, you pick up so much stuff. Like you pick up when, say spoilers, but you were talking about his emotional moment.
Right.
Not that emotion. The one where he's drunk.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
And you pick up, if you go back and watch it again, when Gamora calls him something.
Yeah,
and he's just going about doing his business as if it doesn't register to him.
Right.
But then you realize later he completely realizes every time someone puts him down.
Yeah. It was a great scene. And one of the biggest accomplishments of this movie, I think, is that so much was made about a talking raccoon being in a movie, and how it was this huge risk and whatever. But when the movie started, I got over that after the first scene.
Oh yeah,
right. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
When he and Groot,
he was just a character.
He was just a character, and I totally forgot that he was a talking raccoon.
Oh well, that's. For me, see that stuff's easy for me to get around.
I love that sci-fi shit.
Because we talked about it when we did our Planet of the Apes episode. We're just like, it's hard to believe that the most emotional movie of the summer is just full of CGI apes, and you're just it's.
I wouldn't say it's easy to get past it. I'd say when it's done right.
That's the thing. It's so easy to get that wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
The CGI, Jar Jar Binks.
Right.
The CGI could have been horrible.
Yeah.
The voice, Cooper could have sucked.
Yeah.
The whole characterization could have been wrong, but all 3 of those were great.
Yeah.
And I was kind of when they cast Cooper as the role, I was trying to imagine what his voice would be like coming out of Rocket, and I couldn't. It was hard to sort of put it together and think that it was going to come out okay.
I think a lot of people think from the comics he was supposed to have a Scottish accent or some cartoon, a British.
Yeah, because he was. I think in some of the books he had sort of a Cockney accent, maybe, but it was started out American, and it just depends on who's writing it. I don't know. On the Avengers cartoon, he had a British accent.
Sure. Oh, okay. Well, hey, Wolverine had an Australian accent in the cartoons in the past, and then they cast Hugh Jackman, who's Australian. So. That's when they first did X-Men.
Who
it always has to come around to.
Who preceded
no, and thank God for that, because when they cast him, I was afraid. I was like, oh my God, are they seriously going to follow those old cartoons and make him actually Australian? I was like, oh God, please don't do this. Yeah. But no, Guardians of the Galaxy, smashing success for Marvel, and they.
What's their competition?
This
what
weekend?
The movie that has absolutely zero buzz on it. Teenage
Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's right.
Oh, that comes out next weekend.
No,
right. Well, that's what I mean. Like
he means for this weekend.
For this
weekend. Coming up, because I'm trying to think of
Ninja Turtles.
That's it.
Of in terms of box office.
Yeah.
So they're making like 160 some odd million or whatever this weekend worldwide. Yeah. So next weekend is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Which I would rather go see this again.
Yeah.
Me too.
The thing is, I have lost any motivation to see.
The thing is, it's funny because
I originally had.
Because I'm working. I don't know if I'm going to finish it in time, but I'm working on an essay for Retroist about Ninja Turtles, and people. This is their 30th anniversary of their debut in comic books, and there is like zero buzz on this movie. Yeah. Zero.
Probably because
nobody gives a crap.
Probably because it's going to tank so hard. It's probably just.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
It just looked terrible. It looks horrible.
It's just. I'm trying to put my finger on like why. It's like
it's Megan Fox is what it is. Megan Fox is in that
She's
movie.
stigmatizing.
I think it's partly her, but I also think it's the whole Michael Bay thing. I think people are just kind of like, oh god, you're gonna fuck up these cartoon characters too. Thanks a lot.
You think
But
so? Because I'm pretty sure Transformers
it just
killed it at the box
It's the first
office.
movie of the year to go over $1 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah.
And I blame both of you fuckers for going.
That's
you
right.
paid money to see that.
I know.
I did not.
Notice who
I
I
lost
did.
a bet.
I
I
did
lost
not.
a bet.
I did not pay money to see it.
Okay. Well,
They got their money.
Yeah.
Probably.
They got their money.
But that's not from me.
Oh
so.
yes, because you shut up, they got your money. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's okay.
So yeah, I refuse. It has nothing to do with people are not tired of Michael Bay. Actually, more people probably like his stuff now, if anything else.
which is sad.
It's sad.
It's
right?
a sad
I'm not,
state.
I'm not saying that in a good way.
But this movie has to at least beat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at the box office, or I will cry.
Oh,
On
there's
this
no
podcast.
doubt. I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going to turn out to be a bomb.
You mean for the weekend or just
I thought you
in
just said
general?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turds, which actually I would go see that.
Turd, that would be a.
I would go
what
see
a
that
great
movie over.
That sounds like a trauma film.
Do you mean
It
for
does.
next? Do you mean for
Which,
next?
by the way, James Gunn, bring it all.
That's
around.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
Whoa.
see?
Do you mean next weekend or just in general?
Just in general.
Oh, I think it. I don't think.
I don't even think it's going to be close.
Ninja Turtles just they don't have the presence that they used to have too. I mean, it's just like they've had this cartoon on Nickelodeon for a couple of years, I guess. But
Really?
Yeah, exactly. There's a cartoon's been on since for like 2 years
Yeah.
on Nickelodeon. Now they're tying it into the movie and all this stuff. But it's they did that CGI movie. 7 years ago, I guess. It was all CGI.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant
CGI
Ninja Turtles,
yeah, it was called
What?
TMNT. And
okay.
I mean, I watched it. It was decent. I didn't go to the theater. Watch
Yeah,
it.
I
Oh.
don't think this is going to lose money. Like when I say it's going to bomb, it'll make money, I'm sure, but it's not going to come close to these numbers. No chance.
Hmm.
I don't think so. I mean, it's just a weird thing because you never know what nostalgia will push people to do. But it's like I said, I haven't. For Guardians of the Galaxy, there's all this buzz, and Ninja Turtles, it's like, by the way, that's coming out.
You
next
know, the
week.
funny
it's
thing
like,
is, you use the word nostalgia. When I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, somehow I felt that sense
I know.
of nostalgia.
I
It
know.
was
I think it
amazing.
was the soundtrack.
It's
That's what it was.
The music was
Yeah.
so
The music
good.
was
The
the
music was
soundtrack.
so good.
And it, oh god, used so well
Use
throughout.
the Runaways, for God's sake.
I know.
Yeah,
Um,
it's really good.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. But
Good.
yeah, did we just wrap that segment up? Did my memory just?
Well, no, that's murder. That's actually one of the
Murder.
one
That's
of the
actually
worst
one of the worst
crimes.
crimes and totally illegal.
That was so good.
What if someone does something irksome to me
Irksome
and
to
I
me,
rip
and I
out their
want to rip
spine?
their- Oh, that's actually that's murder. That's one of the
What if somebody
worst
has
crimes.
something and I want it more, so I take it?
No, you don't get it. I want it more.
But what if I want it more?
So good. I love that.
And one last thing about Guardians of the Galaxy. If you really, 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 really have to pee, you don't have to stay for the stingers at the end because they have no relation to future movies. They're just two fun little things that happen at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the
I
the
think you
first
got-
stinger
the first
is
one-
2 seconds when the movie. It's not
Yeah.
like.
And plus, it's
It's
awesome.
so fun.
Oh no, it is. Don't get me wrong.
He's just
but it's
saying
like,
it doesn't tie into anything.
it does.
No,
like,
but the
you're
last
not
one I
gonna,
agree
you're not
with.
going to get a shot of like Ultron or something like that at the
Right.
end.
There's no Avengers Age of Ultron teaser, which I was hoping for.
Doctor Strange is.
Which, by the way,
looking
did
into
you
his
pick
thing.
up in the second teaser? When you saw it the second time, did you pick up the first intro to that?
Wait, what?
They show the character before.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't see that. No,
Wait,
no.
what are you talking about?
In the
second stinger.
the second stinger.
We could talk about it, right?
I mean, it's all over the internet.
It is.
I guess. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the second stinger is you have
The collector.
you have the collector sitting there on in his destroyed lab or whatever it is, lab, I guess.
Like a museum.
Yeah, and he's sitting there kind of dejected, having a drink. Dog comes up, licks
Cosmo.
his face. Cosmo. The dog comes up and licks his face, a Russian dog. And then you hear a voice come off camera that says
Seth Green.
something. That's right, something to the effect of, "Are you going to let that thing lick you like that?"
Mm.
And it pans over, and Howard the Duck is sitting there with a little martini like glass in his hand, and then it fades to black. He has something else. What does he say?
Oh, he takes a drink. He goes, "Oh, it burns."
It burns, and as it fades to black, and they actually show Howard the Duck. It's really hard to notice, but when you first see the collector, and
They kind of do a pan of his.
The Guardians first go in it, and it's panning over. He's hanging in a cage above.
Okay.
So
I
it
was looking.
shows-
Because
Yeah.
I want to freeze frame that entire scene just to look around.
It's
He had one of the dark elves.
It's not
from
in
Thor.
It's not in focus, but if you know what you're looking for, you see
Okay.
him in the cage,
That's
kind of
cool.
staring at the camera a little bit.
Oh, that's
Oh
neat.
man! All right, so there was a dark elf in there. There was a Chitauri.
Yeah.
What was it? What's the dark elf was the one that was
He was
laying
laying
The
down.
one
right?
when she was scrubbing the
Yeah, she
Right,
was
but
scrubbing
what
the
is
cage
what is the dark elf?
from Thor?
Thor 2. You remember that movie?
I
You loved it.
No, what is it? What is the Thor 2?
It was a dark elf without his helmet, basically, in that cage. And then there was the Chitauri was in there somewhere. Cosmo. A lot of people think that Adam Warlock's cocoon was in that, which was in the stinger for Thor 2, actually.
Oh. Okay.
That was in one of the cages in there. So there's got to be more stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
floating
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
That's something for the Blu-ray when you get the
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
exactly. But it was a fun little
It's a fun movie.
cut scene. But it was like you said,
Oh.
no lead into.
Yeah, there's no lead into
anything
Avengers.
else there.
The lead into Avengers 2 was from Cap 2.
Right.
That's
Yes.
the main lead into
Yeah.
Avengers. Yeah, so Guardians of the Galaxy, fun movie. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, no matter which side of how much you like it,
Yeah.
you fall on. It's a great movie.
It's a
Yeah.
great movie. It's really
Yeah.
good. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. And definitely go check it out. You won't regret it. And that brings us to a short discussion about, what was it, last weekend, I guess? Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, come on.
San Diego Comic-Con was last weekend. And not as many revelations as people were expecting.
No, on either side.
on
of
either
it.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But in
I don't
DC
know why people always expect the moon.
Yeah, no, but it's because they've been delivering the moon the past couple of years. I mean,
Yeah.
but in DC's defense, their movie doesn't come out till 2016.
Well, that's what
So
I'm
they-
getting.
so they have-
that's what
they
I'm
have
getting
some
at.
time.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, why would you think you get massive
Well-
spoilers for that?
Oh no,
Yeah.
not for that. I mean, all I was expecting from Warner Brothers for that was the picture that we got of Wonder
what
Woman.
you had.
Yeah, that's all.
They
I
were
was
going to do
expecting.
something. I mean, they tried to hide the fact that they were going to do anything because they released their schedule of whatever the event was that they had, and they were like, "We're going to discuss this movie and this movie and this movie, and that is it. Nothing else."
You didn't see the wink in there. Wink.
Yeah, wink, wink. Yeah,
And then they did.
and then they showed.
the footage
footage.
of Batman,
versus
Superman,
yeah.
and it's
Batman.
literally
Was he Ving Superman?
Yes,
Yes,
he was
Batman
Superman.
v
Yeah.
Superman.
And it's
Right.
literally the suit that Batman wears. He wears basically the tank suit from The Dark Knight Returns, and it's straight out of that movie, out of that comic. And it looks great. I mean, the footage looked really cool. I mean, I gotta admit, it looked really cool. It probably won't end like The Dark Knight Returns ends, but I'm sure that's early in the movie when they first come into conflict, which should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm actually considering going to Comic-Con next year because that will be one of the crown jewels that they'll be talking about.
Yeah, we talked
That-
about this. Like, I wanted to go too, but I was going to dress up in a Spider-Man costume.
Lady Thor now.
Yeah, Lady Thor.
Lady Thor.
Yeah.
If I was going to dress up for Comic-Con, I'd probably do Indiana Jones just because it's the closest like normal clothes you can wear.
That's
no mask.
That's
no
how
nothing.
Doug likes to costume. What can I
What
get
is-
away with that's the absolute cheapest possible that's
Yeah.
going to just
Well, that's
make me
like-
look
What's
like
in my
a
closet
normal
that
person.
That's
Maybe
like
look like
Chris
a movie
Hardwick
character.
dressing like Marty McFly. I mean, like I mean,
No, that is detailed. That is detailed.
No, he was
enough for
detailed,
him.
but yeah, I mean, but Indiana Jones, you get the leather jacket, the khakis, and you're good to go. You get the hat. I already have the hat. I own the hat. So that's what Warner Brothers did. They showed that. Probably the biggest surprise of Comic-Con was that Christopher Nolan showed up. Nobody thought he was
Yeah,
going to show up.
him
He
and
showed-
McConaughey.
Yeah, and McConaughey, and he showed the latest trailer for Interstellar, which we saw before the IMAX version.
November.
Yep.
Of Guardians of the Galaxy. It looks great.
I think they got another winner on their hands there.
Probably.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's got Matthew McConaughey in it, who can do no wrong at,
At this point,
At
yeah.
this point, in his
Hey,
life.
hey.
All right,
Don't
all right,
worry.
all right.
Don't worry. He could still make another Fool's Gold. Fool's Gold 2.
I want this to be Rust Cole in space. That's what
No,
I
I
want.
don't think you're gonna get
No,
that.
I don't think
he's
you get
already
that.
he's already crying in the trailer. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you're not gonna get Rust Cole.
Yeah.
Space is a flat circle.
That's how they should have started out the trailer. Why couldn't someone have just talked about confetti? I like
This
confetti.
planet smells like aluminum and ash.
Then Marvel did. Marvel Studios came in and they did. They showed a little bit of. Did they show footage, like concept footage of Ant-Man? I can't remember.
They had
They
what's
just-
his face?
They had the
Peyton.
Reed.
Yeah, him. They had him come on, and they had Michael Douglas, and Rudd was there.
Eventually,
But I don't think they had any footage.
They didn't have any footage.
They
I
had
think
they had the new poster. I
they
think.
did show the artwork.
They showed the artwork, yeah. I thought they had like concept because they haven't even started filming yet.
Right.
But I thought they had concept footage.
I think it starts
like
filming like either this week or next.
Yeah.
Well, I think they might have, but so many people have left the project that they're not sure it's actually going to be.
If they own that footage or not. Yeah, so we'll see how Ant-Man goes. That's been a
that's
sea.
like
I don't know.
That is like
That's
going to
been
be
a
like a
huge
train
CF,
wreck, more
yeah.
and more like a big train wreck.
And then, of course, they showed footage from Avengers, which
Yes.
I'm sure will eventually show up in a trailer sooner. or
I'm
later.
sure.
You know when they'll probably do it?
October.
You think October?
Yeah.
I was going to say, tune in for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and
No.
watch the
Oh,
new
no.
Avengers trailer.
Nah.
Sorry.
It'll debut on the big screen.
Yeah, because we thought actually that they were going to do that with Cap too, and they didn't. They waited till October. They have this thing about October being the month that they release the first trailer for whatever is coming out in May.
Okay. And you can't find the video footage of the Avengers, but you can find the audio. Somebody recorded on their phone.
Yeah.
So you can kind of sort of hear what's going on.
I'm not going to say I listened to it like 10 times. I'm not going to say that. It was more like 11.
The scene sounds cool. But basically, all you really need to do is just go buy the Entertainment Weekly with Avengers on the cover, which showed Ultron.
They have the Ultron now.
And they basically described that whole scene that they showed in the
And
trailer.
by the way, Ultron looks great.
Yeah, Ultron does look great.
Oh, yeah, he looks really good.
I don't know where his potbelly is from being played by James Spader, but I hope it shows up.
See, here's the thing about mocap. It is not the actual body of the person that they're CGIing.
I hope Ultron is like Alan Shore as a robot.
Okay.
He's a very shady
might get your
lawyer.
wish.
I'm going to sue you, Avengers.
Very,
no, God!
Very, very liberal.
This is really the Ultron v Avengers.
No, I like that scene that they played a little part of in the trailer and they described in that Entertainment Weekly thing.
The party scene?
Yeah, the party scene. Or more, I guess it's more like the after party scene. Because it's supposedly like all the Avengers and all the, I don't know if it's recruits or whatever, the people that work in the Avengers Tower are having some party.
Right.
And then all the Avengers plus War Machine and Maria Hill go upstairs for like the little Avengers after party, and they're all trying to lift Thor's hammer.
Right.
And isn't it that
Is
Iron
this
Man?
the Sword in the Stone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iron Man and War Machine put on their suits or something like that to
something
try
like
to lift it, and then Widow doesn't even try it. She's like, I don't need. I forgot the words that she used. And Banner,
She doesn't need to empower herself with cock.
Right.
I think is what she said.
Wow.
I think those might have been the word for word what she said.
And of course, Cap comes.
And then Cap comes, and it's like, he almost gets it. Which
I thought in the comics, wasn't he the only other person besides Thor that could lift it?
Well, I think other people have, but Cap is one of the most famous ones.
Right.
Like, and I think it. I might be getting this wrong. It might have been in an Ultron story, where he ends up at the very end picking it up.
Oh, Ultron does?
No, Cap does.
Interesting.
So maybe
that
that's
could be in it.
what
Nice.
they're doing.
That's cool.
Because it shows it moving a little bit, but he still can't lift it.
Right.
And then Thor's like, you can't lift it because none of you guys are worthy. And that's when Ultron comes in.
Yeah, he shows up.
Yeah, and says,
"Hey guys, I brought the beer.
What's up, villain in the house? Let's get this started."
Red Reddington
he's got
is her
some
father?
Yeah. No, I like his lines there, where he's talking about them. None of you can be worthy because all you do is kill.
Right.
Unlike me.
Yeah. Who's going to talk it out with you guys?
Who's such a diplomat.
Let's discuss our problems.
the diplomat that Thor is.
And then he sues them.
Right. He sues them.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's Avengers 2. That's coming out next May. And then the third one's probably coming out in May 2018 because what moved off that date? Something moved off that date.
You heard, you know what I'm doing.
I got you.
Off that date.
Spider.
Oh,
Man.
Spider-Man. That's right. Spider-Man moved one of their Spider-Man 3 off.
It's been delayed till 2049.
Off of May 2018, and then immediately Marvel snatched that up, so people think Avengers is going to be in that date.
Probably.
I don't know. I kind of wonder if they're going to do a 4-year gap this
Think
time.
so?
Ooh, really?
Yeah, because look.
Well, they do have
Think
a
about
lot to
they
put
have
in.
a lot to put
Yeah.
on. They already have Cap 3.
It's true.
Ant-Man, Thor 3, your favorite.
Guardians 2.
Guardians 2,
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, and they said they want to do every year an established franchise plus a new franchise. So you've got Doctor Strange.
But no, but later on they're starting to put in 3 at a time now.
Yeah. So they've also got to fit in Doctor Strange, probably Miss Marvel, and probably Black Panther.
God, I hope Black Panther do Black Panther.
Well, I'm more interested in Miss Marvel.
No, I know, yeah. And I want to see that too. I definitely want to see that.
Yeah.
But...
And somebody just asked Feige, I mean, he gets asked this question every day, I think. Like, when are you going to do a female-led superhero movie? And he's like,
It's getting a lot of press right now.
It is getting a lot of press. And now he's like, we want to do it. We're going to do it, hopefully sooner rather than later. And then there's this whole thing with Katie Sackhoff where she put this thing on Twitter. She's like, hey, I'm going to meet with Stan Lee, and I wore my, I thought red leather was appropriate.
Right.
So say we all.
Yeah, so say we all.
I hope it's her.
And then there was a picture that came out today where she's in like some sort of I don't know what they're putting on her fucking face, but she had like green shit all over her face, like they were molding it. So I don't know.
For the mask.
It might be for the mask.
Nice.
And then she had a close-up shot. Yeah, she's gonna get shot. So then there was like a close-up of her shoulder, and it was totally red. And then there was like a little like she had been shot or something like that. So just some battle damage or something like that. But oh my god, I hope that comes true. I hope she's Miss Marvel.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. The reason why I really want to see Black Panther too is that it's the same reason. I mean, yes. I know you got War Machine in there, and you've got Falcon, and they're great.
But they're all supporting characters.
They're supporting characters.
Yeah.
You need to have a main African American character in. Come on, you got to have it. So
and all that shit about women or worrying about a woman leading.
I agree with you. Cut that off right there. Why do people worry about women? Right? Is that what you were saying? I don't want to take your words from you, Matt King.
That's where I was going with
Matt
this.
King, Arthur Matt King.
Thank you.
Upcoming.
Thank you. We'll have no women in it whatsoever. It's a sausage party. That was actually the backup title for my book. Sausage party.
Sausage party.
Sword fight. There is some sword fighting in that. Oh, I'm seeing the sequel. All right, so no,
Gross.
yeah, tell me about it. No, but so there's all this bullshit about women can't headline a superhero movie.
Right.
Over this Guardians of the Galaxy with Gamora being in the main group was the first movie of its kind, I think, to have greater than 50% or 40% of the ticket sales be women this weekend.
That's good news.
Yeah, it's great news, and I don't know. I think that's such a stupid argument that that they're worried that women won't see the movie or that it won't make enough money.
Yeah.
This is
it's going to make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I saw an article someone posted. I mean, this was a while ago, talking about how the execs, when they marketed this stuff, they basically they made the assumption flat out, women aren't going to see this, so we're going to immediately cut out anything that has to do with marketing to women, and that's awful. It's a terrible flaw in faulty logic.
Stupid.
Yeah.
But anyway, I hope she gets made first. I hope they get that out as soon as possible. But I really want to see Black Panther too, and it's important that he also gets a solo movie to himself.
Yeah, and that opens up a whole nother avenue of stuff because the vibranium and all that kind of stuff.
Well, so I think we already know that vibranium's going to be in Age of Ultron.
Is that what they make Ultron out of?
I think Ultron's final form, or whatever, I don't want to get Dragon Ball Z on you here, but whatever his final form is, I think is going to be a vibranium shell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think, and they've already mentioned, there's been a lot of rumors that Wakanda plays some role in this. So he's going to,
nice.
We might get T'Chaka in this one, I'm thinking. If we see anybody at all related to Black Panther, I think it'll be T'Chaka, so we don't, you still leave the T'Challa
they can cast
story. They can cast him later. They don't have to have him in it. They can put whoever they want as T'Chaka.
Right.
He's only going to be in the next movie for 5 minutes or whatever. So that may be one thing they do.
Cool.
And I hope also Carol Danvers gets her cameo in this. I mean, they showed the Avengers recruits or whatever. Some of the set pictures have shown a lot of people in those uniforms that look kind of like Quicksilver. Mm-hmm. So that's probably what his uniform is that Avengers Academy type of thing.
Oh,
but with lightning bolts for whatever reason. So they've shown some pictures of them training, and I'm thinking that probably towards the end of the movie, you see that Carol Danvers is one of those people in training.
Cool. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I would like that.
One of the things that was a glaring omission at Comic-Con, as we've kind of sort of alluded to earlier on, is Fantastic Four, which is rebooting next year apparently.
Yeah.
And and will be coming out before the next Comic-Con. So this was their last chance to really get in there and say, "Hey, by the way, Fantastic Four is coming out."
Guess what? Chronicle 2 next year coming out.
There was
Hey, I saw the tweet. All right.
Yeah, Kate Mara.
That is marketing genius.
That's right there. That's all they needed.
Kate Mara, who plays the Invisible Girl.
She doesn't know who she's playing. Have you listened to any of her interviews? She's like, yeah, I can't wait to do all the things, and I'm gonna act and shit. She doesn't know fucking anything about Fantastic
She took
Four.
a selfie of the cast, and she's like, "Hey, we just wrapped principal photography." I'm
What?
like, "Really? Didn't you just start 2 weeks ago?"
Yeah, it's like they think they're filming a pilot episode.
Actually, I think given how young they all look, they must have done principal photography about it. I think that must have come out like 10 years ago, and now they're of age.
So they filmed like the opening 5 minutes where they introduce them all as kids,
right?
And then we get to the real movie, where
Correct.
Reed Richards can drive.
Exactly right. He looks so young.
He does.
I'm pretty sure he's supposed to have some gray hair, but I don't see that.
I don't see that happening. No. And
this is probably going to be the Ultimates version of Fantastic Four, and hopefully we will get Goat Legs Doom.
Yeah. If you're going to do it, go for it, man. Don't fuck around. Put that motherfucker in goat legs.
I never understood that.
I don't know
why does he have goat legs?
And they're not just goat legs, they're purple goat legs. Oh my god. I cannot believe they're making this stupid movie.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
It's going to be horrible. It's going to be so bad.
And we can also talk a little bit about what we mentioned with the moving of the date. Apparently, the Spider-Man franchise is collapsing into a sinkhole.
That's just pretty much right now. That's just a giant question mark.
Yeah.
Apparently, they moved up Sinister Six because people were so happy with Amazing Spider-Man 2. They said, "Give me more of that, please."
But not for another 15 years.
And then God only knows when Amazing Spider-Man 3 is going to come out. Probably when Garfield is
18
65.
or 19. Yeah, he's going to be. I think somebody figured out he's going to be like 35 or something like that. Playing a 20-year-old
guy.
They should get what's his face doing Reed Richards. He can play Spider-Man.
Right. By that time, he will be perfect age.
Oh my god. Yeah. That franchise is fucked.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Matt King.
I will cry right now.
I know.
I love Spider-Man, and they're just.
Is he your
crappy.
favorite or story your favorite?
We've been over this. No. The character Spider-Man is my favorite.
Okay, yeah.
And I've had 2 good movies.
And they're shitting in his mouth.
They are.
Yeah.
That's actually Spider-Man, the next movie's tagline.
We're gonna
shit in your mouth. Open wide, motherfuckers. Here it comes, 2019.
It's so funny that given the iconic nature of this character, the one that everyone knows, they keep fucking it up and getting everything else right.
Well, that's what. So they did it right twice. They were
were
on the road. Shut up.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Everybody besides Doug knows that Spider-Man 1 and 2 are great Spider-Man movies, especially the second one. Shut up.
I agree with you there.
And then number 3 happened, which was more like number 2, if you ask me. Like the shit kind. Is what I'm getting at.
We get it.
That's what I'm getting at here.
We're not Drax.
It was a piece of shit.
Destroyer.
I do feel like I'm talking to Drax here. It did not look like a number 2 at all. Yeah, but then an Amazing Spider-Man. We've talked about this. It was mediocre, and then the last one.
It was the worst thing that could have possibly happened.
Yeah,
the worst thing since bagpipes.
I think I broke my eyes. It was so awful. And so it's no surprise to me that they're delaying the shit out of the next one. They need to regroup. I think Webb is gone.
I mean, Orsi's gone. What are they going to do now?
Oh no!
God.
And Kurtzman's all wrapped up in the Mummy reboot.
Golly gee, it's gonna really be bad now.
Wow, it's gonna suck to have all new writers and directors for the next movie.
Can do those things.
Yeah, that know what they're doing.
So that was Comic-Con.
Was there anything else at Comic-Con?
They were also talking about how
there was a bunch of nerds and geeks.
Jurassic World.
I didn't see anything from World.
But that's dinosaurs. People are going to go see that movie.
They were talking about Agents of Shield season 2, which they cast Lucy Lawless.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So she'll be on there, and they did a little Agent Carter panel. So the big thing there was no Shield, no Hydra in that show.
in Agent Carter.
Agent Carter. So none of those, but they did say that
it's pre-Shield, so
it is pre-Shield, and they don't know if Dominic Cooper is going to be a part of the show.
Oh,
yet.
that sucks.
Well, they don't know. I mean, they just haven't announced it.
Yeah,
Right.
They didn't say he's not going to be.
Oh,
just
okay,
like,
okay.
We haven't cast him yet.
Because that's not going to premiere until the winter.
Yeah, it's like some.
It's like during the hiatus of
Yeah.
Shield.
It's just like a
for
literal
all
thing.
that stuff. They did the panel. They did. They had the Arrow panel. They had the Flash panel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which those two got pretty good reviews, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotham, on the other hand,
Gotham and Constantine both.
people were like,
Yeah. Especially the pilot for Gotham, I think, was getting some.
I think people say that it's got a lot of potential, but
Yeah,
it's
I think the standout was Logue was tops.
Yeah,
I think
Donald Logue,
as the standout
Bullock.
above Gordon.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
You don't want. You
which
don't
is
want that.
kind of a problem.
That's a problem.
But yeah, so I'm still looking forward to Gotham, but
I'll watch it.
We'll see what's happening.
I would almost rather watch that than Agents of Shield.
Constantine
Dude.
is. I think that might be a victim of network television.
probably.
Oh, right, because he already can't smoke.
He can't smoke.
Yeah.
That's all. He's not bisexual.
Oh.
Whatever.
Man, okay.
Whatever. But yeah,
It's a shame too because the guy looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
No. The look is so
he
so
looks
great, but you know, and it's not like I'm some huge Constantine fan.
Right.
But guess what? You can't have Constantine who doesn't smoke.
Yeah.
That's
kind of the whole point.
That is his. First of all, that's like his how he dies, right? And then you just it's his whole stick throughout.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what we're gonna do for the next Spider-Man movie? We're not gonna kill Uncle Ben,
Right.
and he's gonna live throughout the whole thing.
You know what? I bet you they replace it with some Nicorette. He's just gonna be a Nicorette. He's
just gonna throw on the patch every 5 minutes.
Here's an idea for Gotham: don't kill Bruce Wayne's parents. See where it goes.
Yeah. So,
Fans will love it.
And it's just a dumb thing to change now.
Yeah.
It's like people. Guess what? Everyone knows smoking is bad for you, and this is a character on TV. That is not going to have
And
kids
his show will
going.
be on. Yeah, his show will be on at like 10 p.m. anyway.
I refuse to. Maybe I'm naive about this, but I refuse to believe that. First of all, it's not a show for kids.
Right.
Second of all, kids are watching. They're not going to be like, "Oh, Mom, I'm going to go smoke.
Yeah.
Give me a pack of Camels."
More like
Lights."
they're going to smoke because their parents tell them their whole lives not to smoke, and then that's why they're going to rebel.
So,
and smoke.
But yeah, so you're right. The look of him is awesome, but I have a feeling the show's gonna tank.
And Jeff Johns did make it clear, and actually I think he reiterated it in just another recent interview.
I am sorry for Green Lantern. Is that what he said?
No.
Again.
I apologize.
But
I take full responsibility.
And then go ahead.
He clarified that the film and TV universes will be separate for Warner Brothers. Right. That scream that you heard was Stephen Amell.
That's right.
Screaming,
and that's right. Yeah, which is too bad. He does a really good job.
I think. I think they should connect them.
Yeah, I don't understand why not.
It saves you so much trouble later.
It's just going to be confusing.
It is going to be confusing,
Yeah.
and then, because they're with that they started doing that with Agents of Shield.
Yeah,
and now. You're just going to say, no, we're not going to... They started acting like they were going to have it all meshed together. So it is. It's going to be really confusing.
Yeah.
But as he was apologizing again, you saw Ryan Reynolds like tap dancing across the stage. Yeah. See, it's not my fault.
It wasn't. And that leads us into our final thing we'll talk about.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Something else that leaked out, not of Comic-Con, but just recently leaked out, was test footage for a Deadpool movie that will probably never happen. But... or it will happen according to Rob Liefeld, but it's going to be PG-13.
But either way, how fun was it?
It's going to be a G-rated.
It's going to be a G-rated
cartoon.
Look out, Bambi! Deadpool killed your mother. So yeah, but it was fun. It was basically like a CGI.
It was Ryan Reynolds mocap.
Yeah.
CGI Deadpool. Actually, CGI everybody. That whole thing was CGI.
Yeah. And Ryan Reynolds does the voice, and he did the motion capture, and he was.
It's my shit.
He was perfect.
It's my shit.
BANANAS.
Yeah, he was
he's
so
sitting
good.
there. He's sitting there fucking coloring with crayons.
Yeah.
on a piece of paper in the beginning, and then
he holds a picture up at the end.
I know at the end it's him cutting the guy's head off,
which he does.
Which he does.
It's so good.
Oh man, that footage was maddening because it was exactly what I want out of a Deadpool movie. I mean, it's got Ryan Reynolds, who is Deadpool. He is Deadpool.
He's good.
And all those lines were ad-libbed. That motherfucker ad-libbed everything.
Wow, really?
And I found this out this week too. He also ad-libbed all of his lines in
The Wolverine
X-Men
movie?
Origins.
Wow.
Oh.
That whole elevator scene where he was talking about being stuck in an elevator with 5 guys on a high-protein diet and telling them that the guy's green eyes brought out his seriousness. I mean, all that stuff was totally ad-libbed
Wow, I
by
didn't
Ryan
know that.
Reynolds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it happens, but
I don't think so. But it
it's not going to be rated R, but
No.
they might. I mean, and
Right.
PG-13 would not be. But then again, I mean, Rob Liefeld. I mean, I'm not going to defend Rob Liefeld, but he did make one good point. He says, "Look at all the X-Men movies. Wolverine's always killing the shit out of people. They just don't show any blood.
They don't
And
show any
that's-
blood.
No, right. Yeah, given the tone of Deadpool's character, yeah, zero chance it'll be R-rated.
Well,
there's just no way.
It should be R-rated.
It should be.
No,
But no,
The Wolverine should have been R.
No, right.
Right,
I'm
yeah,
saying,
Wolverine
I'm
should
saying
be
it. Well, I'm not saying what it should be.
Right.
It's just,
I
especially
don't
with the way
disagree.
the industry is, and given
They want-
given the nature of this character, no chance.
Yeah,
they're
Fox-
gonna pull in as many people as they can.
Fox wants that X-Men money, and they're not going
Right.
to get X-Men money if they do it rated R.
Yeah, well, they're not going to get
Unfortunately.
X-Men money anyway.
They won't,
Out of
not
the-
out of Deadpool.
out-
See,
out
here's
of
the-
Deadpool
like-
movie.
The reason I think Deadpool should be rated R is the language.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not just the violence. I mean, he is a hyper-violent character. But, I mean, yeah. You didn't, yeah. Newsflash. But I wouldn't even... It's not going to bother me that much if that stuff is not in the movie. But his language, I don't want to see him... Like, I don't want a governor on his language.
Yeah, well,
I don't wanna-
with PG-13, I don't really think they do that too much with language.
The only thing he can't say
Well,
is
he
the
can
F
he can
word,
say
really.
fuck twice, right?
I don't know.
I don't
I
remember
think
what
it's
the number
once,
is
but
on
Or-
it
right.
depends on the context.
Wait, I
from
thought
the-
Gravity had 2 fucks.
I know Get On Up, we saw the James Brown movie, which I'm sure we'll talk about in the next episode, but we saw that had a couple fucks in it.
Okay. So,
But-
he needs to say fuck more than twice. I think to really sort of... I mean, he's just...
Yeah.
He's this unbridled character, and he's fucking funny. And let him loose.
Yeah.
God
You
damn
can't
it.
be funny without saying
You cannot.
fuck.
I'm
God.
not funny unless I say fuck.
This is true.
This is true.
By the way,
See?
this podcast is rated R.
You may should have said that. At the beginning.
Led
yeah.
with that, right?
Yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, that footage was fucking great.
It was fucking like candy.
You might be able to find it online somewhere.
Oh
It's
yeah,
still,
so
it's still out.
it was
there.
going up and
It's-
down when that first day it came out. People were putting it up on YouTube and Vimeo, and Fox was like, "Fuck you," and take it off. And people were just sort of throwing it out there all day long. And then, but it was a cam version,
Right.
so it was really shaky, and the footage you couldn't see what Deadpool drew on this picture.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's right. Yeah.
Which is the best part.
It was the best part of the
He's
whole
a
thing.
kid. The
He's
fucking
like-
van, the SUV like turned over. He's like,
Yeah. But then Fox finally said, "All right, fine," and it put the HD version out there and
Right.
stopped taking it down. And the HD version is so pretty.
and I mean, I really do hope that
I think it should
puts
show them.
puts a fucking light bulb over Fox's head and says, "Oh
Yeah.
wait,
Well, that was the theory, is that they were doing this to gauge interest, right?
Yeah.
They were saying, like, would people sort of go for this type of thing? Let's leak it out there and see what
Yes.
happens.
I'd much
Yes.
rather see the Deadpool movie with Ryan Reynolds than see the Gambit movie. With
I mean,
Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
look, what do I want to see a gory Deadpool who cusses like a sailor? Absolutely.
Yes.
Will I take what I can get? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I forget who said this, if it was at the end of an article or something that I read, where they were trying to sort of soften that PG-13 blow, where they were saying, look, it might be okay if it's PG-13 because it's Deadpool, and Deadpool can make fun of being in a PG-13 movie
Yeah.
the
That's right.
entire movie.
It might have been
I-
Liefeld even
yeah,
said
yeah,
that,
because
Maybe
he's-
Liefeld did say it, I
He's
don't know.
notorious for breaking that fourth wall.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can,
Which
make
he does
fun
right
of
away
it.
in that footage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where, this is why I wear the red costume, so bad guys don't see me bleed.
I hope they were
I hope they're wearing their brown pants.
They're wearing their brown pants. What did he say about the leather?
Oh,
Corinthian
rich
leather.
Corinthian leather.
This is rich Corinthian leather.
There's no easy way to say this.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant, Trevor.
So stupid.
What are you talking about? That's great. And then the bitch when he punches that guy in the front seat. Ow, ow, ow. Wanna be your
Would you-
lover.
Would you like us to film you reenacting the whole thing?
I could.
Yeah.
I offered to
I
write the
doubt.
fucking movie
Yeah.
for him for free. I will do it.
No.
Until it makes money, and then you decide that you wanted some money from that, so you sue Fox.
Well, that will be in the contract,
Right.
yes.
I will sue you later.
I will clearly...
The sue clause.
Yeah. I will be
Lawsuit.
paid eventually. I'm saying I will work for free up
Right.
front.
Pro bono.
Pro bono. Until I want my bono. At the end.
Until the bono.
Yeah.
They didn't like you two. So that'll do it for episode 45 of the Hodgepodge Podcast. We'd like to thank Matt for coming by again.
Thanks, Matt.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Matt. Don't know when we'll see you again.
That's a good way to end it.
Stop by anytime.
Thanks for coming. We won't be seeing you again for a long time.
No, yeah. Anytime you want to come by.
Really?
Yes.
Anytime?
Anytime.
Awesome.
Anytime.
All
As
right.
long as
You'll
you
have
guys-
to, you'll
as
have
long
to go
as-
see the movies we're
As
discussing.
long as
No.
you have something to
No.
contribute.
No,
Right.
I will have something to contribute. It may not be about your movie.
All right. Well, you can't jizz all over Thor every time.
Don't tell me what I can and can't do. Bud.
Next time, as I kind of previewed, we'll probably be discussing the James Brown pick, Get On Up, which,
Get on
which
it.
opened sadly against Guardians of the Galaxy, but that'll probably have some legs with a more adult audience.
You should. It was really good.
It was really good.
We'll see.
But also...
Or wait, that was terrible. I mean, we should end that with, was it really good? Stay tuned for our next podcast to find out.
Or go to the hodgepodgepodcast.com and just read my review. That's been sitting there for a couple days now. But we'll also talk about some other movies. Dirty Aid just recently saw Richard Linklater's Boyhood.
Yep.
I'll probably go check that out before we record.
Good.
And by then, I'm sure we'll have seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So-
Yeah. Given that nothing else opens next
You
week,
poor bastard.
We'll go see it. There's nothing else out there.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, I don't feel as bad going to see that as I did about seeing Transformers.
No,
Yeah.
me neither.
Well, you were
I'm curious about this. I'm actually curious about it to see what it's.
you
gonna
were
be
doing
like.
you were doing evil by going to see.
No, we
Transformers
were doing
4.
a service to our listeners to go see Transformers.
That's not a service. I mean,
It is because it's the biggest movie of the summer, so we had to go see it.
ugh,
I'm sorry. If they had done a free screening, we would have gone to a free screening. But they
I
did a
wouldn't
free
have.
screening for Transformers.
you didn't see me there.
It wasn't a free screening.
You and your scruples and your integrity.
It's
We don't
called-
have any of that here
it's
at the Hodgepodge
called
Podcast.
A blood oath. I told you I took a blood oath.
Whatever.
I wasn't gonna do it, and
Whatever.
I didn't.
And now you have the HIV.
Right.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
God.
Nice Deadpool.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we will see you next time, everybody.
Thanks. Go see Guardians.
Hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Lips as sweet as candy.